What is your true life expectancy? Are we really living longer? What is longevity risk? That is the subject of this video. Welcome to another episode of the Financial Fast Lane. My name is Martinsen. And if you're new to this channel, we discuss retirement planning topics, specifically for those age 50 and over. And in this video, we're talking about life expectancy and longevity risk. But before we jump into the numbers, let's take a look here. Emma Morano, she was the oldest living person at 117. When the camera crews came to her house, on this big event, she's 117. She's saying things like, does my hair look okay? And, I thought that was it's pretty good if you're 117 and you're worried about your hair. But after she died, she was about 117 and a half. After her passing, then it was Violet Brown. And Violet was also in her 117th year. After Violet, it became Nabi. Now today, as of this recording, Kane Tanaka is the oldest living person. Here she is, just having a soda, giving us a peace sign at age 117. The oldest couple, John and Charlotte, John 106 and Charlotte 105, they celebrated their 80th wedding anniversary. You may know this guy, Fauja. He is the oldest person to ever run a full marathon. So he ran a full marathon at age 100. He did it again at age 102, 103, 104. He ran a full marathon. He is, as of today, he's 109. And over the past 5 years, he has been showing up to these, kind of as a celebrity, he shows up to these big marathons, but he hasn't been running for the past 5 years. So I guess at 109, he can start to slow down a little bit. He's known as the Turbaned Tornado. So this is my dad and I. My dad is 93. The truth is, he probably should have died a long time ago. 27 years ago, my dad had triple bypass heart surgery. And he's had excellent medical care, and it's clearly extended his life. He is a World War II veteran. He served right in the tail end of World War II in the U.S. Navy. My mom and dad, they're both doing really well. They are coming up on their 69th wedding anniversary. This is Dave Kagi and I. He's a gentleman that I met over at my gym, and he is 94 years old. I've actually created some other videos with Dave interviewing him and his lifestyle. But he's very active, very healthy guy, and he's actually very good at pool, and he's been teaching me some pointers, so we shoot pool every once in a while. So what are some of these longevity facts, and what is the impact to you or your family if you live a long life? Life expectancy nearly doubled during the 20th century. Now, a lot of times we hear about the national average. If you're looking at the national average can be really misleading. It's like right around 78 years old, right? But the problem with the national average is that it takes into account infant deaths, from a very young age, all the opioid overdoses, all the things that can happen to you. But if you make it to age 65 and you're in relatively good health, then your life expectancy is much longer than the national average. If I was to ask you what you think is the fastest growing segment of the U.S. population, the answer is people age 85 and older. Let that sink in for a minute. It's the fastest growing segment of our population. In 1950, there were approximately 3,000 Americans that were age 100 or older. By 2050, the projection is 1 million people over age 100 just in the United States. That's less than 30 years from now, and that is a massive change in the demographics, and it is most certainly an aging population. So if you're age 65, a healthy male, your life expectancy is around 86. And for women, it's age 89. Now, again, that's the average. So that means half of us are going to live longer than that, right? If you take a look at this chart, you will see that with a married couple, there is a 50% probability that one of you will live to age 93, and a 25% probability that one of you will live to 97. And so what does all this longevity mean? It means that we need our retirement income to last longer, right? And so we call this longevity a risk multiplier. It is a risk multiplier because the longer we live, the longer we need our income to last, and the longer the more opportunity for all the other risks that we face in retirement to become issues. And so it accentuates all of the risks, such as sequence risk, inflation risk. All of those things have a significant impact the longer we live. And so you don't want to use a national average in your planning. You really want to plan for as long as you might live. And there are things to be considered. There are ways to have guaranteed income for life, making Social Security strategies such that it protects you in the long term. There's a lot that goes into taking these risks off the table and helping you to have a peaceful plan for retirement. Because there's 70% of all of us will, as we age, we become frail, and we reach a point where we need some assistance. And so there's long-term care assistance costs, and all those things come into play. And so it really is important to consider all these things. And I'm going to create a different video on the subject of how do we actually address long-term care from a financial standpoint. But I hope you found this beneficial. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I hope that you'll do that. And we look forward to seeing you in the next video.